I'm a member of Citizens Climate Lobby, and I would like to ask a question having to do with what we are trying to do all over the country, and that is getting political will behind the passing of a carbon fee and dividend bill. I say fee because it's not a tax. It doesn't go into the revenue of the government. It goes back to the people as a dividend to help the people who are going to be hurt the most by the rise in prices of all kinds of carbon fuels. That the families that are hurt the most will be helped by the sending back of this money on an equal basis to all of the households in this country. And it will be a big incentive. I believe you've talked with some of the PCL people, and I'd like to know whether you're prepared to back any such bill as it gets brought to the Congress.
Do you all have a bill that has been written? I know Senator Cantwell and Senator Collins have had a bill over the years. Is that your bill, or?
No, I understand that the Citizens Climate Lobby headquarters is writing a bill that will be proposed, and I hope that you will back it.
Well, I'd certainly like to work with them, because I think that this climate issue is very, very serious. And my view is, and I chaired the Energy Committee, that every single day we ought to be working on climate on two tracks. Track one involves things like the victory that we won, a week ago, when coal companies aren't allowed to shortchange the royalty, system and set up these kind of dummy, operations to avoid their obligations, both from taxes and environmental kinds of considerations. So, every day we ought to try to advance renewable energy. We got a big hydro bill passed, which I think is going to also be a plus for, clean energy. I've supported automobile efficiency. That's what the solar efforts are all about. So every day we ought to try to put points on the board in the fight to deal with climate. Then we need to have something, long term, which is what you're talking about. The only way we're going to do that, not only is it going to have to be bipartisan, it's going to have to be something that involves the rest of the world, because we don't have the capacity to do it just ourselves, which is why I think you all are absolutely right to come to the United States Congress to talk about a bill that, in effect, would lay out what we ought to do, and presumably a path to get others involved. So let me have a chance to look at what your organization is talking about. But I think it's clear that, the first point is, do you think there's a problem? And when you look at NOAA's latest findings with respect to CO2, I think the science is very clear with respect to the seriousness of the problem. Then the question is, what do you do about it? And that's why I've tried to suggest steps that we can take right now, and then the steps that we ought to be looking at in your kind of in the second basket that look to the longer term.